The Trump administration, from top to bottom, is so thoroughly stupid, ignorant, and curious that they needed basically a kindergarten level of presentation for them to understand one of the major programs they were so excited to cut last year. We're talking about USAID. So Nicholas Enric, who at that point was USAID's acting assistant administrator for global health, has this new book called Into the Wood Chipper, a whistleblower's account of how the Trump administration shredded USAID, which you should definitely read about. John Oliver also had a great episode about USAID not long ago. And some of what he said about the lengths they went to try to get the Trump administration to understand what USAID does is just ridiculous, how juvenile this administration is. So State Department official Ken Jackson said, wow, there really is so much that USAID does that we never knew. USAID Chief of Staff Joel Borkert agreed. As a Republican, when I think of what USAID does in global health, I assumed it was just, abortions. And why would he know anything more than that? I mean, it's only a program that's existed for literally decades. It's only a thing that they've been salivating to cut for literally years. Why would they know anything about it before they decide to cut it? So when Enric explained that the agency does more than just abortions, it fights tuberculosis, malaria, HIV, and childhood diseases, and that interrupting drug-resistant TB trials could then create untreatable new strains, White House liaison Adam, I'm gonna say Korzenski, I'm not sure, asked him to prepare Barney-style slides for leadership and suggested using the term super TB to hold their attention. And I don't know what Barney-style slides mean. I think it means literally with cartoons, maybe the use of the color purple. It is the royal color, Trump probably would like it. But having to come up with the term super TB because drug-resistant TB is just way over their head, that's pathetic for any adult. But for people who are actively trying to kill this program, gut it, to need to go these lengths is just embarrassing. But it actually gets even more embarrassing. That White House liaison also requested a quote, outbreak style map showing disease spread like the zombie apocalypse. If you can make one of those maps like they have an outbreak, where it shows the red growing over time as the disease spreads, like the zombie apocalypse, that would be great, very effective. But why would you need that? Yes, disease spreads. Spread spreads. Why do you need a red circle to understand the idea that diseases can spread? I will remind everyone, we are 5 years removed from a global pandemic, and you need visual cues to help you understand how transmission of illness works? That is so pathetic. And it's not the White House liaison that needs it, of course. It's everybody higher up in the Trump administration that needs us to treat it like it's World War Z for them to understand that tuberculosis is bad and you should want to cure it. Anyway, when a colleague raised maternal health programs, including emergency interventions for postpartum hemorrhaging, a Trump official dismissed them as, quote, more of a number 2 priority. They're asking us to dig our own grave, one career official said as the meeting ended. Okay, so very clearly, it's a number 2 priority. Postpartum hemorrhaging. Now, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I'm pretty sure that means bleeding. And I think bleeding right after you gave birth can be a bad thing. And these are the people that claim that they're all about protecting women and girls. They're like, give me something I care about. Women bleeding out after giving birth, what do I care? They already had the kid. I forced them to do that. I don't care what happens to them at this point. And I will just remind everyone, they got what they wanted. They killed the program. The Barney style slides didn't help. The outbreak map apparently didn't help. They killed it. They killed those programs to stop drug-resistant TB and the spread of all these illnesses. But I'm sure it'll be fine. As we know from the experience of the last decade, diseases that start abroad never cross to our shores. They're never much of a concern here. They're really more of a number 2 problem.